Pedic that we're going to learn. Shleisha she'achlu. Another Gemara. Shleisha she'achlu is the Pedic which will discuss all the halachas of zimun. When you're benching with 3 people or benching with 10 people, where there's, besides the ikir chiyuv min atayra of benching, v'chalta v'savato v'erachta, there's the obligation to bench with a zimun when you say Rabbi Saimivel benchen, and we'll go through all of the details of the halachas of zimun. Zok the Mishneh, shloisha she'achlu ka'achas, 3 individuals that are eating together, and this includes whether they're chatchila planned and they joined a meal together, or they didn't plan and join the meal together. They just happen to be eating together in the same room, and then they come to be the time of benching. Chayav and lezamen. They're obligated not just to bench each one separately, but they have to designate or connect to bench together. Ochal demai. Now the Mishnah says, how about if you ate demai? Demai, as we learned already earlier, is the produce that's brought from an Ama Oretz, and therefore there's a suffix if Meiser was taken or not, and you're not supposed to eat it without taking Meiser. Meiser Rishon shenitla trumasai. The Meiser Rishon is the Meiser that the Levi gets. After the Levi gets the Meiser, 1/10 of what he gets, he has to give Truma of it to the Kayin. So this Levi has the Meiser Rishon, and he also took the Truma. Everything is done right. Meiser Sheni, or in a case a person is eating Meiser Sheni, the hektish, or something that belonged to hektish, sheniftu. They were redeemed. Meiser Sheni, you redeem the paytas of Meiser Sheni, and then you take the money to Yerushalayim, and there in Yerushalayim you buy with the money food and eat it there, and then once you redeem it, and the same with hektish, once you redeem it, you may use the paytas or the hektish to eat for yourself. Shamish sha'achal kazayis, and the same is also a servant, a waiter, that he ate a kazayis of food, kazayis of bread, along with another 2 people that were there, that or another whatever amount of people that were there in the room. Akuti, these are people that came and were Megayer, so to speak, to Yidden, and originally there was a suffix whether their gatus was accepted or not, was their gatus real or not. In the Zman of the Tanoim, there was a machlokes about this. The Gemara brings this in Kedushin, Ba'arichis, where they gere emes or gere aroyes. Did they convert truthfully, or did they convert just out of fear? And there's a machlokes. This Mishnah brings v'hakuti as people that are gaten, that are accepted, and therefore mizamnin olav. All of these different individuals from the Demai and all of these cases, they could all be included in the zimun. As we'll see later, that one in the Zman HaAmiroim, they were mevara. They saw that these kutam are b'chlal not part of Klal Yisrael. And that's the maskana that they're goyim. They're not included in part of Klal Yisrael. But the Tana of this Mishnah follows the opinion that they are. In the Gemara, it will explain all the details that it mentions here. What the chiddush of all these cases are that they could be included in zimun. Ochal tevel, a person that eats tevel, which is the produce that Meiser was not taken from. Meiser Rishon shaloi nitla trumasai, or a Levi that eats from Meiser Rishon, and he did not separate the chelik, the 10th that has to go to the kayin, u'ma'aser sheni, the hektish, shalei niftu, or a person that eats ma'aser sheni and hektish, and it was not redeemed, v'hashamish achal pachas mekazayis, a waiter that's eating food as well, but he ate less than a kazayis, v'hanochri, or a guy that's joining the people that are eating, ein mezamnin olav. They cannot join the zimun together with the people that are eating. Nosh and v'avodim meketanim, the same is also true with women. Avodim, which refers to an evet kanani, and ketanim, and then children on the bar mitzvah, ein mezamnin aleim, yet they cannot be included in the zimun as well. Zok the Mishnah, at kama mezamnin. What's the minimum amount of food to be obligated in zimun? So Rashi explains what this Mishnah is asking over here is, although seemingly the Mishnah already said the minimum amount. When it spoke about the shamish, when it spoke about the waiter, it said that as long as the waiter ate a kazayis, so then he could include himself in the zimun. So according to Rashi, and the way the Mefarshim explained this to Rashi, the pshat over there is, the waiter is not obligated to join the zimun because he didn't eat with them, so he's really not part of the people that are eating. But he may join. If he ate a kazayis, he may join them in the zimun. Now the question of the Mishnah is regarding the people that are actually eating there. what's the minimum amount that they're obligated to bench with Zimun? Not just that they may join, but they're obligated to join in Zimun. And it's not the Mishnah, the question, the emes is this question of Ad Kama Mizamnen is not only Benegeh to Zimun, it's the question B'chlal, Benegeh to Birchas HaMazon. What's the minimum amount to eat to be chayiv in Birchas HaMazon? And if it's 3 together, then you're chayiv to bench together with Zimun. Ad Kezayis, the amount is at least a Kezayis. Rabbi Yehuda says Ad Kebeitza. You have to eat it, at least the amount of a Kebeitza. So of course we paskin at Kezayis. That's the amount to be chayiv in Birchas HaMazon, and if you were 3 people together, you're chayiv in Zimun. What's the source of this inyan of Zimun? That only if you have 3 people together, then they have to join together to bench. Amar Avasi da makra gadu lashem iti uneroime moshmo yachtav. Let's bring the greatness of the Eibishter and exalt the Eibishter's name together. So who's speaking over here? David HaMelech is saying a plural term, Gadlu Lashem Iti. He's speaking to at least another 2 individuals, and he's saying that proclaim the greatness of Hashem and exalt His name along with me. So it's David HaMelech plus another 2 people. So that's 3. Rabavo says Mehacha. It's learned from a pasuk by Moshe Rabbeinu. Kishem Hashem Ekra. I call out the name of Hashem. Havu Goydel Lelikeinu. Bring and express the greatness of the Eibishter. So again, it says Havu in a plural term. Moshe Rabbeinu asking at least another 2 people to join along with him in proclaiming the greatness of the Eibishter. So you see in these psukim that when you bench, you should join together. If it's 1 person and there's another 2 people there along with him, there should be 1 person that should invite others and say, Rabbi Yisai Mivel and benchen, or Nevarech, let's bench together, and not each one should bench alone.
The second pasuk could be only 2 people, no?
Havu Goydel Elikeinu is Moshe Rabbeinu saying to 2 people. So it's Moshe speaking to 2 people. The first pasuk it's David HaMelech speaking to 2 people, and in the second pasuk it's Moshe Rabbeinu speaking to 2 people. Amar Rav Chanan bar Abba. Rav Chanan bar Abba said that you see incidentally, he brings another thing that you see from this pasuk. Minayin la'oina amen shalayagbia koila yosem and amavarich. From where do you know that when you answer amen to a bracha, don't raise your voice louder than the person that made the bracha himself? Shenamar, because the pasuk says, Gadlu Lashem iti uneroim mashmo yachtov. Along with me, together with me, on the same level, the voice should be not louder than the person that actually made the bracha. Rab Shimon ben Pazi said, Minayin, similarly, from where do we know? She'eina metargim rashoy lagbia koila yesem and the one that is translating or explaining the words of the person that's teaching, as it was in the times of the Gemara. There was the Tana or the Amayra that would teach, and then there was a Metargim that would interpret and explain his words to the people. So the person that's Metargim, that's explaining, should not raise his voice louder than the person himself, the teacher that's teaching. From where do we know this? Shenamar, because we see this by Matan Torah. What does it say? Moshe Yedaber v'alekim yanenu b'koil. What is this talking about? After the Eibishter said the first 2 of the Aseres HaDibris, the Yidden said they can't handle listening to the Eibishter himself. So instead, Moshe Rabbeinu heard from the Eibishter that's told him the rest of the Aseres HaDibris, and Moshe Rabbeinu repeated it to Klal Yisrael. So why does it say in the pasuk Bekoil? Why does it add that word Bekoil? She'ein Talmud Leima Bekoil. That word Bekoil is extra. It should say Moshe Rabbeinu spoke, and the Eibishter then answered. The Eibishter continued. Eibishter spoke to Moshe Rabbeinu, and then Moshe Rabbeinu gave it over to Yidden. But why does it have to say Bekoil? Ma Talmud Leima Bekoil. What is that extra word of Bekoil teaching you? Bekoil Shel Moshe. That the Eibishter spoke to Moshe Rabbeinu on the same voice that Moshe Rabbeinu himself spoke. So Taisus over here explains what this means is, because Moshe Rabbeinu had to speak loud enough for all of Klal Yisrael to listen, so even though the Eibishter himself didn't have to speak that loud, the Eibishter could have said it to Moshe Rabbeinu low, and Moshe Rabbeinu hears, and then the rest of Klal Yisrael would hear from Moshe Rabbeinu. But still, because Moshe Rabbeinu has to speak loud to the rest of the Yidden, so the Eibishter also has to speak at least on that same level that Moshe Rabbeinu shouldn't speak louder than the Eibishter. Because a metargim, one that's giving over the words of a teacher, may not speak louder than the teacher himself. Tanya Nami Hachi, we learned this in a Braisa as well. Eina metargim rashoy lagbia koiloi yosem and akayda. The metargim should not raise his voice louder than the one that's reading the halacha, that's teaching the halacha himself. And if the person that's teaching is speaking too loud and the metargim can't project his voice that loud, so the one that's teaching, the one that's reading and teaching, should lower his voice so that the metargim shouldn't have to exert himself and speak if he can't speak as loud as the person speaking, the person that's teaching himself. They should both be speaking on the same level, not one louder than the other. Okay, getting back to the halachas of zimun. Itmar, we learned the following machlokes. Shnayim shachlu kachas. How about if it's only two people that joined and ate together? So we know that usually zimun is three, like the Mishnah began, shloisha shachlu. But how about if it's only two? Should each one bench alone, or is there any concept of zimun? So sagt the Mishnah, sagt the Gemara, pligi Rav Yechanan. This was an argument of Rav and Rav Yechanan. Chadamar, one of them said, Imratzu lezamen mizamnen. If they want to bench together with the zimun, where one invites the other to bench together, so then they may. The Chadamar, but another one said, no, Imratzu lezamen ein mizamnen. If they want to be mizamen, even if they want to bench together, they can't. So the first opinion held, in our Mishnah when it said shloisha shachlu, it said chayavim lezamen. That's when they're obligated to bench together. But two are not obligated, they may bench alone, but if they want to bench together, then then they could. The other opinion says no, that they bench dafka separately. They can't, there's no such a thing, it's not shaykh for them to have this union of zimun. Tanan, so now the Gemara is going to go through various different sources to bring a raya to one or another opinion. Tanan, we learned in the Mishnah, shloisha sha'achlu ka'achas, the three that ate together, chayav and lezamin, they're obligated to bench together. So what do we see from this? Shloisha in shnayim loy. The Mishnah said three, but not two. So the Gemara responds, no, the Mishnah is not a raya. Hasam chayva, the Mishnah is telling you what the obligation is. Hacha rishus. Over here it's talking about the question, the argument of Rav and Rabbi Yechanan was whether it's permissible, whether they're allowed to join together. That's a different argument. So the Mishnah is not a raya. Tashema, a raya from another brayse. Shloisha sha'achlu ka'achas. Three that ate together, chayav and lezamin, are obligated to bench together. Ve'ein rashayin licholik. They're not allowed to separate. So over here the Mishnah adds that three are not allowed, if they're three together, they're not allowed to separate. Why aren't they allowed to separate? Because if one person walks away, so then the other two that are left can't do zimun. That's the simple pshat of what it says here. That's why he's not allowed to walk away. So what do you see from this? Shloisha in shnayim loy. That three that are together could do zimun. If there are only two together and one walks away, they won't be able to do zimun. So if you're telling me that if two are together, so then they have the reshus to do zimun, even if one person walked away, they can still do zimun without him. So why is one person not allowed to walk away from those three? And for the Gemara, Shani Hasam, the kavu lahu b'chayva. Originally, when they ate together, when there were three, they had the obligation to do zimun. Now, when one walks away, they will be able to do zimun, according to the opinion that says you could, but it's not going to be a chayva. And Rashi here explains, when you do something which is a chayva, that's much greater. When you do something which is an obligation, that's a much greater mitzvah than when you do something which is not. So the pshat over here is not that they're not going to be able to do zimun at all, but they'll be able to do zimun, but not as a chayva. That's why you're not allowed to separate. Toshema, a proof from another place, from another brayse, Hashamish shahoyim mishamish ala shnayim. If you have a servant that was serving two people, Hareze oichel imoim, he's allowed to eat, join them and eat along with them. Rashi over here explains that if you have a waiter that's serving, and his job is to be serving these people, so it's not right, it's not nice. It's a gaiva for him to join them in the meal without asking them if he's there to serve them, and he joins and he eats along with them. It's gaiva. He's not supposed to eat along with them. But in a case where there are two people that are eating, this shamish, this waiter, doesn't have to ask permission. He could and should join them in eating as well. Even if he wasn't granted permission. What's the reason for this? Because by him joining them, he gives them the opportunity to be able to bench with zimun. So they definitely want him to join them. But if This is a waiter that's serving 3 people. They have the zimun without him, so therefore he shouldn't eat along with them without getting permission. So what do you see here again? That 3 people can do zimun, and the 2 people cannot do zimun. And for the Gemara, the same point, Shani Hasam, the Nichaluhu, the Mikvaluhu, Bechayva. Even if they could do the zimun by 2 without him, but they'd rather have the greater mitzvah of doing zimun with 3, because then, like as I mentioned before, as Rashi says here again, Godla Mitzvah Vaisa. Even if you could do zimun with 2, the zimun of 3 is greater than the zimun of 2, and therefore the shamish may eat along with them. Toshima, another ayah to this question. Noshim is amnes la'atzmon. It says that Noshim, the women, are allowed to do zimun amongst themselves if it's just women. Va'avodim is amnes la'atzmon. The avodim as well can make a zimun amongst themselves. Noshim va'avodim uketanim imratzu lezamin ein mizamnin. But if you have in one meal women, avodim kenanim, and ketanim that are joined together, then they don't do zimun together. As we'll see soon the reason why not. But if it's noshim separately and avodim kenanim separately, or not ketanim, but avodim separately, they can do zimun. Frag the Gemara, v'hameya noshi ketrei gavri damyan. The women that are not obligated in zimun, the chatchila, the union of zimun doesn't apply to women, and therefore even 100 women is compared to just 2 men that are not chayiv in zimun. And still, what does it say here? If they wish, they may do zimun. So what does that show you? Just like you say b'negei to women that are not obligated to do zimun, and yet, if they want, they could be mizamen. Noshim mizamnes la'atzman, if they want. So the Gemara says the same thing should also apply to 2 men. That even if they're not obligated, but if they want, they should be able to do zimun. The ketani noshim mizamnes la'atzman, even though 3 women or even 100 women do not have the obligation to do zimun, and still they can do the zimun. So the same thing should apply also to men. Va'avodim is damn the same with avodim also could do zimun for themselves. And for the Gemara, no, it's not the same thing. You can't compare. Shani Hossam, the Ikkedeyos. Over there, even though the women do not have the same koyach as men, to create a minyan and to have the obligation for zimun, but yet the very fact that you have 3 women, so you have 3 different people, and you have many. You have different days, there is many people here, and therefore for zimun that's enough. Going back to the pasuk of the source of zimun, what was the source of the concept of zimun? Shem Hashem Ekra Hava Goydel Elokeinu, that one is calling out to another 2. Moshe Rabbeinu called out to another 2, or David HaMelech called out to another 2. So the point is, when you have 3 people together, so then that's a reason to be chayiv in zimun, or even to be able to do zimun, even when it's not a chayiv. But by 2, you don't have the minimum requirement of dayas, of individuals, that the pasuk said. So therefore, you can't compare the case of more than 1 woman or many women to the case of 2 men. Hihachi ema seifa. Let's see what it says in the seifa. The 2 words hihachi, Taisus is not gairis, because what the Gemara says here following is bepashtus, not a hemshich to what it said before. It's 2 separate things. Ema seifa. What does it say in the seifa? Noshim va'avodim im ratzu lezamen ein mezamnin. In the seifa it said that when you have noshim and avodim that are together, so then even if they want to do zimun, they can't do zimun together. Amayloi, why not? For ha'ikedeis, we just said that even noshim or avodim kenanim that are not obligated in zimun, but if they want, they could do zimun because it's many people together, and that qualifies to be able to do zimun. And for the Gemara, Shani Hassam, there's for a completely different reason. Mishum pritzusa. Because it's a pritzus, it's not proper behavior for women and which females and men, avodim kenanim, to join together in a meal. It could bring to inappropriate behavior, so therefore we don't want them to join in a meal together in the zimun. Okay, so this concludes the various different rayas that the Gemara tried to bring, and the Gemara did not succeed in bringing a raya to any opinion here. Now the Gemara goes back to the machlokes itself. If you noticed before, when it brought the machlokes of Rav and Rabbi Yochanan, it didn't say who holds which opinion. It just said one says like this and one says like this. The stayim, maybe we could bring a raya, the Rav, the Omar, that Rav is the one that says, that that two, even if they want to bench together, they can't. Amar Avdimi bar Yosef Amarav Shloisha sha'achlu ka'achas. 3 that joined and ate together. V'yatza echad mem l'shuk, and one of them left. He went out into the marketplace. Kairin loy u'mezamin olav. They have to call him back to be able to do zimun together with him. This is the statement that Rav said. The Gemara is soon going to speak about the statement more, but first this is the statement that Rav said. Time, so what do you see over here? The reason why you call him back, the Kairin loy, only because they called him back. That's why they could do the zimun. Oh, loy Kairin loy, if they don't call him back, loy, you can't do zimun. The 2 people that are left after this person left, you can't do zimun. So this shows you that Rav holds that only with 3 people together could you do zimun, not 2. After the Gemara, again, the same point that we said before, Shani Hasam the Ikvulu b'chayve meikara. Over there, they joined together lachatchila 3 people where they're obligated to do zimun. So because lachatchila they joined together as 3, so therefore they have to later do the zimun only 3 together, and not 2. And therefore they should call them back and do the zimun the way they joined together originally, which, as we said before, is a zimun that they're obligated to do zimun. But in a case if l'chatchila was only 2 people, maybe Rav would hold that 2 people could do zimun without having the first person. Sagt the Gemara weiter, Ela testayim. So maybe we could bring a raya that Rabbi Yochanan the Amar, that Rabbi Yochanan is the one that said Im ratzu lezamen ein mezamen, that if 2 people want to do zimun without a third person, they're not allowed to do zimun without the third person. Amar Rabba bar Bachana, Amar Rabbi Yochanan, Shnayim shachlu ka'achas, 2 people that ate together, Echad mehen yaitze bebirchas chaveiroi. The statement of Rabbi Yochanan was that one could be mitzi, his friend, in the benching. This is the general halach of Shemei Kaina. One person benches, the other person listens, you could be mitzi the other person. V'havinam ba, the question was asked on this, my kamash malan. What was this chiddush that Rabbi Yochanan was saying? Tanina. We learned this already. Shama v'loy ana yatsa. Someone that listens to someone else saying a bracha, even if you didn't answer amen, you yaitza. This is the general halacha regarding all brachas and anything, and or even this halacha of shama v'loy ana. I believe it says originally b'negei to halal. So you yaitza if you listen. So what would be different over here regarding benching? Rab Zeire explained, Lo masha ein birchas hazimun. What he was saying is that there is no birchas hazimun. One benches and the other one listens and he's yaitzer from him, but to do zimun, where he says nevarech, Rabbi Yisai mevalim benchen with 2 people, that you can't do. That was the chiddush of Rabbi Yochanan. Testayim.
What exactly means?
One second. Let me just 1 second while I'll answer soon. Testayim, this is the proof to what we said here, that Rabbi Yochanan is the one that holds that if it's only 2 people, so then each one benches separately, or one could bench and be mitzi the other. But the halacha of zimun does not apply to 2 people. What is?
What is halacha of zimun? He says let's bench. You should
Yes.
say that?
Yes, that's the whole thing of zimun.
Say
So let me explain what the whole concept of zimun is. The whole concept of zimun is that you bench the Eibishter alone is one thing, but when you bench together and you say nevarech, or Rabbi Yisai Mirvel and benchen, that itself is a greater in that there's a rabbim together that are joining together to bench the Eibishter. That's the whole meaning of the zimun. The zimun is the beginning, and then the way it is then in the zman of the Gemara and the zman of the Tanoim, that person that was the mizamen would say the brachos loud, and everyone else would listen to him and answer amen. So everyone joined together and listened to his bracha. So now it's not a bracha of individuals, but it's a bracha of one person that's benching for the rabbim together. Benching to the Eibusha together with a rabbim is much greater than a person doing it himself alone. Today, we don't bench with the zimun in that way, because everyone benches separately. And that's because everyone today could bench separately. We'll see soon what the Gemara will say about this. But today, everyone benches separately. But still, by zimun, you're supposed to listen to the person that's saying the zimun until the end of the first bracha and answer amen. The Alter Rebbe brings this in Shulchan Aruch. That's a chelik of the zimun.
But again, the point of the zimun is that it's the nevarich, berabim, that everyone's joining together in a bracha, and when the rabbim join together in a bracha, it's a much greater inyan. So the question is, what's the miyut of the rabbim that you need to join together for the bracha? So the Gemara says it's shloisha, that's the source from Moshe Rabbeinu and David HaMelech, and then the Gemara is saying that possibly even two together should also be already a rabbim that joins the bracha.
What's wrong with saying we should join together? What's the problem with that?
What do you have to lose?
And why not?
I'm joining together.
Because you say Yishem Hashem Vrech, you're saying Hashem's name maybe. You can't just...
No, you don't say the Eibish's name. When you say nevarich, just the nevarich itself. Okay, I don't know.
The next point.
So
What about Nashim? Nashim, what's the minhag today, Take? 5 ladies are sitting together.
Al Tareb brings the Shulchan Aruch, it's Leinagul, Taisus over here already brings it. Leinagul Zamen. They're not noyik to do zimun. Although Be'emes, they could do zimun. Al Tareb brings it in Shulchan Aruch, yeah. Sagt the Gemara, Omalei Rabbe Barav Hune Rav Hune. Rabbe Barav Hune said to Rav Hune, V'horabonon the Osumi Marove. So we just concluded that Rabbi Yochanan is the one that said that two cannot do zimun, and Rav is the one that said that they could. Frek the Gemara, but Rabbe Barav Hune said to Rav Hune that Rabbanon came from Marove, from Eretz Yisrael. Omri, and they said, Im Rotzu L'zamim Izamnin. Even two, if they want to join together in the zimun, they could join. My love, don't you think that it makes sense? The Shmiel Rabbi Yochanan. They heard this from Rabbi Yochanan. Who was the one in Eretz Yisrael that taught Torah to everybody? Rabbi Yochanan. And Rav was in Bavel. So they probably heard it from Rabbi Yochanan. But we just concluded that Rabbi Yochanan is the one that said that they can't join in the zimun. So the Gemara answers, no. Loi, the Shmiel Rav. They actually heard it from Rav, Mikami de Nochas LeBavel, before Rav came down to Bavel. Originally, Rav was in Eretz Yisrael, and he learned from Rabbi, from Rabbeinu HaKadosh, and then later he came down to teach Torah in Bavel. So they heard it from Rav when he was still in Eretz Yisrael. But Rabbi Yechanan's opinion is that two together do not join together with this Nevarich.
Rav was in Amira?
Rav Tana Hu Apolig is the famous expression the Gemara said. He was right in between. He learned from Rabbeinu HaKadosh, but then he came down to Bavel and taught all the Amiram of what he heard from Rabbi in Bavel. Now the Gemara goes back to the statement that was brought in the name of Rav. Amar Rav Dimi bar Yosef Amar Rav Shloisha sha'achlu ka'achas. 3 that are joining together. V'yatza echad mehem l'shuk, and one of them left. Kairin loy umezamnin olav. They call him back and they do the zimun together with him. Amar Abaye, so Abaye explained what was Rav saying. V'hu dekari leva'ani. They join him back that he's close enough that he's able to answer. Which means he doesn't have to join them mamish to be together in the same room. Even if he's not there mamish with them, but they say it loud enough that he could hear them saying Rabbi Saim Yivalim Benshin and he can answer with them, that's good enough. Amar Mazutre, so Mazutre said about this, V'lo yamaran ela b'shloisha. This that they have to call him back, that he should be close enough to be able to hear, but he doesn't have to be together with them, that's only when you're doing zimun with 3 people. Aval basara, if you're doing zimun with 10 people, adanaisi, until he actually comes into the room and joins them there in the room. What's the difference? Because when you do zimun with 10 people, so then you're saying the Eibishter's name. So to say the Eibishter's name, he has to be there along with them in the room. Mask lo Ravashi asked the question, Adarabe, on the contrary, Ipcha mistavre, the opposite makes more sense. Tisha, if you have 9 people in the room together, nidin kasara. To the person that's looking, it would seem like that there's 10 people there. You can't immediately distinguish between 9 and 10 people. So it looks like there's a lot of people there. So even if he's not mamish in the room with them, that should be enough. Shnayim, but if there's only 2 people, ein nidik kashloisha, it's very clear that you're missing the 3rd person. So in that case, you should say that he has to come into the room and join them for the zimun. That was Ravashi's svara. But the Gemara says, no, we don't paskin like Ravashi. The halacha is like Mazutra, that when it's 3, the 3rd person doesn't have to be mamish with them. When it's 10, all 10 have to be there together. My timer, what's the reason? Kivin de boilat kure shem shemayim. When you bench with 10, you're mentioning the Eibishter's name. But masara, less than 10, lavoidachara. It's not our custom to mention the Eibishter's name with you don't have 10 people together. By 3, you're not mentioning the Eibishter's name. As long as he's answering, he's joining together and he's answering, you can join him in for the zimun. He doesn't have to be present in the room. Amar Abaye said, Nakitinon, Shnayim shachlu ka'achas. We know that 2 people that ate together, mitzvah lecholik.
It's actually a mitzvah upon them that they should separate and each one should bench for himself. Not that one should be mitzi the other. Tanya nami hachi, we learned the same in a Braisa. Shnaim shachlu ka'achas, two that ate together. Mitzvah lecholik, it's a mitzvah that each one should bench separately. And the reason is because when it comes to Birchas Hananin, there's an inyan that each person should bench the Eibishter alone for what he had anah. When it comes to Birchas HaMitzvahs, over there's no way one can be mitzi the other with a Birchas HaMitzvahs. Birchas Hananin, the other person was mitzi you with your eating. No, du hast gegessen. You ate the food. You had anah. So the same thing also, it's a mitzvah that you yourself should bench and not be yaitza from someone else. If you can't, if you don't know how to bench, so then someone else has to be mitzi you. But otherwise, it's a mitzvah that you should bench separately. Tanya nami hachi, shnaim shachlu ka'achas, mitzvah lecholik. Two people that ate together, it's a mitzvah that they should separate and each one should bench himself. When was this all said? If both of them are seifrim, if both of them know the nusach of the benching and that he could bench separately. Aval echad seifr v'echad bur, one knows the nusach of the benching and the other one doesn't. He's an amaretz. So then seifr mevarich, a bur yaitze. The seifr, the one that knows the benching, says it, and the other one listens and is yaitze from him.
So by Beis Chabad, you mentioned that, so it should be.
Today you have the benching even in English, so they could bench separately if they. So here the Gemara says as in India they should bench separately. The question is if they could bench all three brachas. If they could, it says here in the Gemara they should bench separately. Amar Rava said, Ha milsem amrisa ano. This is something that I said. Vis amre mishmei de Rab Zera kavasi. And then I heard that it was also said in the name of Rab Zera like what I said. Shloisha sha'achlu ka'achas. Three people that are joining and are eating together. Echad mafsek l'shnayim. So one person should interrupt, he should be ready to stop eating to join two of them that are ready to bench. If two of them want to bench together and he's not ready to bench, he should stop and join the other twos that want to bench. But ve'ein shnayim mafsikin le'echad. One does not have to stop, two do not have to stop for one person that wants to bench. Doesn't have to. But obviously if they agreed to stop for him when he wants to bench alone, they could. Because again, when you do zimun, they're going to have to stop eating and have to listen to the Rabbi Samivel bench, and you have to stop eating until the end of the first bracha. So one person has to stop for two that are benching, but two do not have to stop eating for one that wants to bench. For Rav Papa, fragte Gemara, but we saw an incident with Rav Papa, Afseklei la Abba Mar Berei, he did stop for Abba Mar, which was his son, and it was Iu Vachad, it was Rav Papa and the second person, and they both together stopped for his son. So why did they stop? And for the Gemara, Shani Rav Papa, Lefnim Meshura Sadinu David. What he did was Lefnim Meshura Sadin, he wanted to give kavod to his son, so therefore he stopped for him. But you don't have to stop. If one person wants to leave, nobody else has to stop for him. If everybody agrees to stop, they want to give this person the kavod, they could, but they're not obligated. Yehuda bar Mereimar, Umar baravashi, V'Rav Achi medifti. These three Amirayim together. Karchi rifte bahadi adadi. We're eating a suda together. Leihava b'huchad da have a muflik machavre levruchi. There was no one amongst them that's greater than his friend that they would appoint to bench. All three of them were great Amirayim. All three of them knew how to bench and were great in their own right. There was no one amongst them that was greater to bench for any of the others. So what happened? Yosef become a bailuhu, so they sat there and they had the following question. This that we learned in the Mishnah, three that ate together, chayav and lezamin. So the chayav that one of them should invite the others to bench together. Hanimili, when is this said? If there's one amongst them that's greater, so he invites the others to bench along with him. But if they're all equals, so then chilik brachos adif. So then maybe it's better that each one should bench for himself. As we said before, that each one benches for himself. Again, back then the one that would be mizamin would say the whole benching and everybody else would listen to his benching. They wouldn't say they're benching alone. So in a case where they're all equals, so then maybe they should all bench separately. What happened? So they had this question, and then what happened was, barich inish lenafshei. They each one bench separately. That's what they concluded, that they should each one bench separately. Also, they came to Mereimar, Amaluhu, and Mereimar told him, Yidei bracha yitzasem, you benched, and therefore you were yaitze the mitzvah of benching, but Yidei zimun lo yitzasem. You weren't yaitze the union of zimun, which is an additional thing that to join together, to bench the Eibishter with Harabim together. That you weren't yaitze. What was the basis of this whole question over here? What was the basis of the question that if you don't have a gadol, they can't join together to bench? Huh? So the basis of the question was because before we brought the source of this from David HaMelech and Moshe Rabbeinu. So just like over there, you see that it was David calling out to another two, or Moshe that's calling out, and it's a gadol that calls out to others to join along with him. So maybe the whole union of Zimun is when you have one person that's greater that calls out. But if everyone is equal, then maybe it doesn't apply. If you look at the source the way it is literally. Or you say no, that it applies to any time you have three people together, you appoint one person to call out to the others. And that's the maskara, that's what Mereimer said, that they should have had one person do the zimun. Maybe we could do, we benched already, but the part of the zimun we can do after benching. It's just saying, and that part they can do now. So the Gemara, no, it doesn't work. After benching, you can't do zimul mafreya. Come, let's bench together, referring to the benching that they have already benched before. It's too late. Okay, this is the halach and Shulchan Aruch, like it says over here.
When do you find the concept of zimun by tefillah or anything else, and by alon? You don't say Rabbi said, let's say alon.
Right,
together.
I don't know. If you come into a room and you find people that are benching, Mahu, what do you say? Do you join them? What do you say when you find other people that ate and you did not eat? So you can't join along with them and say, you didn't eat. So what do you say along with them? So what do you say along with them? Rav Zvid says, Omar Baruch U'Mevayrach. You say Baruch U'Mevayrach, and the conclusion of that is Baruch U'Mevayrach Shmai Tamid Leilam Va'ad, which is the nusach that is brought in the Siddur, that a person says if he sees people that are benching and he did not eat anything with them. Rav Papa says Aina Amen. All you answer is Amen. And so the halach and Shulchan Aruch is if you ate anything, or if you even only drank water, then you don't have to say Baruch HaMavayrach Shmai Tamid Leilam Va'ad. You can say Baruch Shachalna Mishalai, because you ate or drank something. But if you ate or drank nothing, so then you can't say Baruch Shachalnu, so you have to say Baruch HaMavayrach. Or the second opinion, you answer Amen. So the Gemara will explain now. V'loi pligi, they're not arguing. If you came early enough, where the person started and said Navarech or Rabbi Saimivel benchen, if you came early enough, so then you respond. You say Baruch HaMavayrach Shmei Tamid Leilam Va'ad. You didn't hear the person saying Rabbi Saimivel benchen. You came in later on when the people already were responding and are saying Baruch Shachal Mishalai. So then, Amen. All your answer is Amen. Tani Chada, now the Gemara brings another subject regarding answering Amen on brachos. Should a person answer Amen on his own brachos? Tani Chada, we learned in one braise, a person that answers Amen on his own brachos, hareza meshubach. He's praiseworthy. V'tani Yidach, we learned in a different braise, hareza meguna. Person that answers Amen on his own brachos is despicable. So is this good or not good? So the Gemara says, Loi kashya. It's not a question. When you answer Amen at the conclusion of all the brachas minat Torah, which is at the end of Bnei Yerushalayim, there you answer Amen. And b'shar brachas. But at the other brachas, by the end of the first or second bracha, before you end the three brachas that are minat Torah, there one should not answer Amen. Right? And Rashi says that the same would be also regarding any other case where you have a few brachas that come together. It's that at the end of all the brachas you could answer Amen. But in the middle, when there are more brachas coming, what are you answering Amen for? You're not finished. Why are you confirming and saying Amen before the end? But when you come by the end of all the brachas, then you could answer Amen. That's what Rashi says, but Taisus disagrees. Taisus says this is only by benching, where you answer Amen after Yerushalayim to separate the third bracha or the first three brachas from the fourth bracha, which is only Midrabanan, which was a much later takana. So therefore you answer Amen over there. Now the Gemara says regarding this Amen that you say after Bnei Yerushalayim, Abaya Anile Bekola. Abaya, when he finished the third bracha, he would say the Amen loud. Ki heiche de lishmu payalim, so the workers that were there joining him by the benching should hear that he concluded the third bracha. Vilikumu, and they should get up and go to work. Because they're hired and they have to go to work and they're not allowed to take off of any time that they're hired to work. So the first three brachas minat Torah, so that they have to remain for. But after the third bracha, they should go up and go to work. The hatayva meitiv lav deiraisa. The hatayva meitiv is not minat Torah, and therefore they should go out to work. Ravashi anile belechisha. Ravashi would say the amen quietly. On the contrary, he didn't want people to make that separation and say that the first three are only minat Torah and the fourth one they will masakin much later on in Yavna, and therefore he would say the amen quietly in order that people should consider the entire benching to be one thing.